Another disappointing weekend for Manchester United. More drop points, drew with Everton at Old Trafford, and it followed last weekend's defeat to Aston Villa. Paul Pogba and Cristiano Ronaldo both started on the bench. After the match, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer revealed why he decided to bench star man Cristiano Ronaldo.
The thinking is that we have 60 games throughout the long season. These players play at a high intensity every 3 days. Wednesday night was a tough game for us, mentally, physically, and you need to manage the minutes, and also Edinson to start, Anthony to start. Many good players, you have to rotate at times, and I think everyone would understand that no player can play every single game in a long season.
Okay, guys, so let's get stuck into Manchester United, because there were question marks before the game even started why Ronaldo was on the bench. Obviously didn't go well, and in hindsight it's a marvellous thing, Jamie, but do you think Ole could have done better in that situation?
Of course, you don't bench Ronaldo. You start him and you win the game 2 or 3-0, and then you take him off. You put him on in the 57th minute anyway, so he's played enough football to be tired after the game. It's not like you're resting him and not using him at all. You've brought him on when it's not going well, so of course he got it wrong. He gets it wrong every week. I'm just sick and tired of the same conversation with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his tactics and how he's not getting it right. It's criminal. They've got such a great squad of players, and they're just, it's so boring. Like, they just haven't got it. He's not good enough. The tactics are not good enough, and he doesn't make the right decision in big moments. But they stick by him.
Firstly, I've got to say, I don't disagree with the Ronaldo thing. At this stage in the season, man, I know there's big games coming up. I get that.
International break next.
Absolutely. That's the point for me. Do you know what I mean? That was a game that Manchester United had to win. It was so important for them to win that. So, if I'm picking my Manchester United team, if I'm Solskjaer, Ronaldo has to play. He has to play. The flip side of the coin, I've got to say, Jamie, I don't know if you watched the game, I wasn't half impressed with Everton. They had some good performances. I'll tell you right now, the boy Anthony Gordon, Demarai Gray's a player, the Curry in the middle of the park. But from United's point of view, I said earlier, Jamie, and I don't know, and I know you've been saying for a long time, I'm of the opinion that he should be given a little bit more time. However, what I did say earlier on was I can just detect a little bit of a turn in the Manchester United fans. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I mean, all of a sudden now you see, can't you, on social media and the way when you look at things, you're reading into things. I think the tide's turning now with him a little bit. The fans are starting to get the ump, because this season they're looking at going, well, hold on a minute. We've got a top squad now. Before there was excuses with the players and we're not quite there and we're progressing. This season you're looking at going, well, hold on. You've got Pogba, you've got Fernandes, you've got Varane, you've brought in Sancho, you've got Ronaldo, and you're drawing at home, you're losing games. It's not good enough. And they have to be there this season. They have to compete. And every time I look at Man United and I watch their performance, I just think it turns into sort of desperation. He puts Pogba and Ronaldo on the bench. It doesn't go to plan. He brings Ronaldo on in the 57th minute to kind of be like, oh, come on, you've got to go and do something for us now because it's not quite happening. We've got to put the game to bed. And then it's just desperation. They get away with it in midweek in the Champions League because Ronaldo was in the right place at the right time. But they can't do that every game. You've got to win games convincingly, especially at home, and they never do.
Ian Laderman wrote a piece actually in the Daily Mail saying that Manchester United must stick with Solskjaer for now. He may not be able to deliver a Premier League title, but there are no better candidates available to build on the stability he has brought to Old Trafford. What do you think of that, guys?
Well, you said straight away Conte, didn't you, Jamie? Conte be there. I'm not sure that's the kind of style of football that Manchester United would want. However, he's an absolutely top-class coach. And there was somebody else knocking about. Who was the other one? There's nothing about, somebody mentioned to me the other day, but I can't remember. Anyway, I would agree. I actually still think he should be given a little bit more time. I don't think there's any doubt about that in my opinion, but I take Jamie's opinion, and I do notice, as I say, I do detect a wee change.
At the end of the day, it's Man United. They can go and they can buy a manager. If there's a great, the Ajax manager for me is a manager who's fantastic, plays a great style of football. Like, there's managers out there. It's Manchester United. They're one of the biggest club, if not the biggest club in the world. You're telling me they can't convince a better manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Of course they can.
Is it fair to say though that the 3 best coaches in the world are at their rivals at this moment in time.
What are you talking about? Well, yeah.
Well, I'm talking obviously Chelsea, Liverpool and City. I mean, they've got, I don't think we could argue that they've got 3 absolutely sensational coaches.
Yeah, but look at Chelsea done with Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah,
they saw he was available.
Yeah.
They had a club legend like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in Frank Lampard, and they went, no, it's not for us. It's not working. This is not the direction we want to go. And they're ruthless. They make a change. Tuchel becomes available. Bang! They bring him in. What do? Win the Champions League, and everyone's like, "Wow, what a move that was!"
So why do you think it is that they're not being ruthless? What do you think they see in Ole that why they want to keep him in that position?
Don't know. I don't know. I mean,
do you think it's progression? Because there has been progression. I know you're saying that they haven't won anything.
Yes, there's been a progression. There's been this sort of slow process of getting players in certain positions, and they have done that. But this season was no more excuses. He said it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come out himself and said, "There's no more excuses now. We have to compete." And based on their performances this season at the moment, yes, they're winning some games because they've got world-class players. But if you look at the actual performances of Man United, it ain't good enough.
No, I don't disagree with you, Jamie, to be fair, but I'm looking at the table as well and the way things are going, and I think it's going to be like this for a long time now, which is good for the neutral to watch it and thoroughly enjoy it. And Man United, they dropped 2 points. You know, if they win, and I know it's all ifs and buts, they're only 2 points off the league, top of the league, you know. So I still think it's absolutely wide open. We saw that game yesterday. Chelsea, we saw the week before, City giving Chelsea, I thought, a going over. You would not say it's impossible to say Manchester United couldn't beat Manchester City, because they've done it before and kind of do it on a regular basis, to be honest with you. But what I would concede to you, absolutely, Jamie, is I think it's it's not very important. It's a vital couple, certainly 6 weeks coming up for Solskjaer and Manchester United.
I want to throw a couple of names at you. Ian says Zidane, because he is available. Would he be a good fit?
Yeah. Well, I think that I just think the way Manchester United, you know, historically, and the way they like to play their football, the way they go about it, Zidane would probably be more suited to a lot of Manchester United fans, perhaps Conte. Maybe that's not the case, but just that would be my opinion looking at it.
Jack Butterworth says if only Mourinho had this United team, what different do you think Mourinho would do?
That's a difficult one, because with Mourinho's the style of play, which wasn't the Man United way, I just don't think it works. They brought Mourinho in to win a trophy at that moment because Man United need to win trophies, and he did that. And that's something that Mourinho did, and he was successful because he come in at that moment and got them a trophy. Then they've gone this way with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where it's this sort of slow process of building and can we get there? I don't think Mourinho was the right fit for Man U in terms of the style of football that he played. There is a philosophy that you have to stick by with Manchester United, which will never change. So you have to find the manager that wants to play that style.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday morning 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.